Are you working on any large projects, or are we sticking with the short stuff?
Yeah, there's another original, a Zachary original, in the pipeline. But that's what's kind of shelved. I'm also working on some proof of just like not quite a pitch, but just a proof of concept for a couple things. Because I did want to start I know this comes back to like whichever want a job.
Hmm.
Once again, not really, but I did figure I want to make just like what I kind of as a creative exercise. Like, would I be able to come up with characters that are distinct and interesting and my own thing? So I
Hmm.
kind of that's not this is not for public though. These are or maybe I'll release them, but a
Right.
lot of this stuff is it's rough and it's just like could I like pitch a character? Could I pitch a setting?
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
kind of want to just and these are all things. A lot of these things have existed in my minds for the last 5 years, but like these are the things that I wanted to like actually see if I could do because everything is a beautiful masterpiece in your mind's eye, and then you actually make it, and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, for
But
sure. It's like, why am I doing anything? I'm a hack fraud.
oh yeah, but you got to be a hack fraud when you start out. I feel
Yeah,
everyone's got to put in the hack work. I think if you try to get the philosophy too fast, you're just gonna end up like
not
being
doing
too smart
anything.
for your own good. Yeah.
Get that paralysis going, creative
Oh
paralysis.
yeah.
Speaking of an original, like I think it was your original D&D animated Eye of the Beholder that like just that might have been the video that I was like, I got to give this guy money because this is just too fucking good, bro. Like, are you for real?
Oh,
What? This shit. When I saw it, I was like, this guy has to have a job. Like, he's got to have one because like there's just too much. I mean, all the people that commented on it like have already pointed out like all the great things about it, from the changing perspectives of everyone and just everything about it. So let's talk about that video a bit if we could.
sure. Yeah. No, that video is. I mean, I hate it because I took
Yeah, how long did
it
it
really took the
take?
wind out of my sails. I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard to like calculate these things when I'm not working on it full time, and like because there was a couple times where I just stopped. I was like, I don't care about this anymore.
Yeah. What do you mean
And
it took the
and
wind out of your
also,
sails?
well, just because that was the first time I was think that was the first time I voiced anything,
Oh.
which was like I don't like my voice, but no one
Oh,
does. But
jeez. I like mine.
oh, you have a very beautiful voice. I mean,
Thank
I'm sure you hear it
you.
all the time.
I,
But
I do. I do.
voice for broadcast,
Oh,
for
jeez.
sure.
You stop. Oh, stop. But anyway, anyway, keep going.
But yeah, it's just I think it's where it hits because going from just animating over audio to having to make your audio and come up with write a story. The amount of times I wrote the script and I just put in the script I don't know what's gonna go here. I'll come up with something funnier later, and then nothing came. So it was just the first pass was just what got put in.
Hmm.
Like
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
it's just I think just yeah, going from just lazily animating over other people's stuff to actually trying to make something. It's like 7 times the work, and it just really and you're having to watch it back, and you're like, ah, this isn't as good as how I envisioned it, and you're just and you have no one to blame but yourself. I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to make something that had a beginning, middle, and an end. And was all my original idea,
hmm.
but it was hard
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, I would, I can definitely see that. So, what would you say was, I'm just gonna, don't mind the sound of clicking. I'm just gonna pull up the video in a tab here, and kind of scan through it. What was like one of the more challenging pieces of this? Would you say? Was there any shot that gave you like an extremely hard time, like figuring out?
Uh, I don't know. It's been a while
Yeah,
since
no
I was
pressure.
actually there in the hot seat. I think it was just
Just
the
the
fact that it was
breadth of it.
long was
Yeah.
the hard part. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it. I mean, I almost want to guess, but again, you can't really say how long it took. But I mean,
I want to
a
say
few
4 months. It might have
4
been
months.
8 months. I don't actually remember.
I gotcha. Somewhere between 4 and 8. That's solid.
Somewhere between 4 and 8. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Do you use Adobe?
I use Blender for that one.
Oh,
And when I
really?
started, I was just using Krita, like, and it has like a built-in, like, just like basic frame by frame stuff you can do, and it was like, it was bad. And then it would crash every like if you did anything with like the remotest bit of complexity, it would crash. I've lost like videos worth of stuff that I just had to redo in the early
Oh,
days.
fuck.
But yeah, these days I use Blender, and like I got a lot of problems with it, but I also think it's got a lot of like ways you can cheat. I'm sure like Adobe Animate is like just chock block full of like because that's like industry standard.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I've
I never was a Flash guy or like an Adobe guy.
I gotcha. I've been trying to learn Blender because I was trying to do uh I was trying to learn, I mean, and I did learn quite a bit over time, like 3D modeling shit, because I was really, because I'm sure you've probably seen Worthy Kids stuff.
Oh yeah,
And I was,
legendary.
oh my God. Like, I remember when I first saw one of his like Rankin Boss imitation things, I was like, dude, I gotta learn how to do that. Like, I just, that is just too fucking cool. And I made one, and of course it's shit. But yeah, Blender. And so I was thinking about trying to figure out 2D stuff in Blender. So what this is all grease pencil? That's what this is?
Yeah,
Dude, I don't even
like
understand how to use the grease pencil yet. Like,
you know,
I
yeah.
clicked the button. I'm like, I don't know what I like. I gotta watch like 10 tutorials to learn how to use it for 5 seconds.
Well, that's the thing about Blender though, is it's like it's so like ubiquitous. Like you could just like there's a million like Blender savants out there who just like have the most detailed super tutorials you could find. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
everything's out there for Blender. It's like a kind of it's like a community project.
that is definitely a really cool aspect about it. Like, it's something where, like, I mean, I got into it over COVID, and like it's one of those things where, like, I don't think I could have gotten into it any sooner. Like, really, I mean, just the it's almost like all the volume of the tutorials have kind of caught up with any question that you could possibly have about it. Like, you
Yeah,
can type in Blender how to, and then literally anything, and there's going to be at least three people being like, "Well, I do it this way," or "I do it this way,"
yeah, no, for
and
sure.
you end
It's
up
like
and you end up going with the one that has the shortest length.
yeah, no, you know what that I miss? There's not enough just written tutorials these days. Like I don't like sorry, but I don't want to watch like a video. Like I want to read something real
Right.
quick.
Yeah.
That's that's if I'm gonna come out with my PSA, I think people should write more tutorials. I mean, I don't know if there's from an analytics perspective that's like feasible.
Right. Yeah. We need.
Whenever I try to look up a problem and it's like the only things that come up are 3 videos, it's like
Yeah, and
I
one of
guess.
and they all have an intro that's like 30 seconds too long. It's like,
Yeah, the
just
30-second
tell me
intro.
what it
Yeah.
is, please.
We need to
Thank
go
you.
back to the days of people just making tutorials on Notepad and then recording it like that. I remember, you know, that's where it was at.
Yeah, can we have like
Like put some
a
Avenged Sevenfold in the background.
can we have a game FAQ to like Blender tutorial website
Yeah.
where I can just stare at, a bright white screen in tiny little courier font? Like, can we just have that
Yeah,
again?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a looking actually I guess looking based person would be videos would help. No, maybe that's audio. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a mix.
Visuals guy, If I could, communicate entirely with hieroglyphics, that's where I would be at.
Oh. So you mentioned you got some big projects that you have on the back burner, and what do you do to like decompress the artistic mind? Do you just watch shit, or just take a break, or play games?
Yeah, I do like to watch movies.
Nice.
I mean, like, I think the reason I started this was that I was playing too many video games. Like, I'd fucking wake up, play Escape from Tarkov for 4 hours, then go to work, go to bed, and I was like, "I have to stop this." So I try to keep the gaming to, like, a minimum these
Yeah.
days. I mean, I really do like just, like, going for walks and brainstorm. I mean, I guess that's not really a break from the creativity, but, like, I feel like nothing inspires you more than working on something. Like nothing inspires you in a way like whenever I work on something, I'm always thinking about something else. Like oh, like because like
Yeah.
I was working on a proof of concept that was like medieval times because that's my favorite genre, that's my favorite setting, And the whole
Mhm.
time I was thinking, like, man, if this was modern day, I'd have so many more jokes. So now I'm working on a modern day proof of concept, and it's like, man, if this was in the olden times, like, there's so many characters that like I weren't coming to me when I was working on the first thing. So but yeah, no, I honestly I pace around my apartment like a madman if it's like bad weather out, just because like being in motion, like all the ideas come to you then.
Yes, dude. No,
Yeah,
I'm the exact same fucking way. Yeah. I fucking love pacing.
no, you people are all like whenever like people always comment like, "Are you okay? Are you nervous?" Like, no, I just like to walk around when I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah, it's literally getting the juices flowing.
yeah, for sure.
How would you Man, this is such a shitty question, but I can always just cut it out. What would you say your aesthetic is?
My aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I personally call it storybook. There's no
Ah.
like rationale there. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
the biggest influence I've had was like is like British, like old British illustrations, like the middle 19th century stuff. I think it's called Golden Age British illustrations. Like people like Arthur Rackham and freaking I mean Chris Riddle's someone who's like still alive who does stuff in that kind of style. But it's just like that's kind of like also like that style once again because I kind of really didn't care about illustration or like 2D stuff
Mm-hmm.
for the longest time until I started like looking at this stuff and I was like, damn, I really like this and I can't explain it why, but I kind of want to make something like that. So
Yeah,
like that's definitely a big like visual influence. It's kind of like old storybook, old Alice in Wonderland type stuff. Like just because like I do love grotesque and the whole like back in Alice in Wonderland times, I think it was called grotesque like children's book illustration because there's such like a thin line between cute and scary.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to walk that line. And sometimes I do think it is just gross, but I'm trying to find the because I don't like the full like maximum grossness. Maybe that's like a better way to like get eyeballs on you because it's like weird.
Yeah,
But I do try to like kind of walk maybe like like a Wes Anderson movie. They're like very cute and friendly on the surface, but like there is always kind of dark shit going on like when you actually like get into the subject matter.
for sure. Yeah, I get that. I like one thing that I was kind of noticing. Um, like you're really good with like pl- this is sound so elementary. You're really good at points at there's like I noticed a lot of really good like triangle shapes, be it like on armor, like beaks kind of thing, and it makes me think of like a corrupted Dr. Seuss almost in a kind of way because I feel like
Hell yeah.
I feel like a lot of like like a lot of like bird inspired kind of like
No, no, I
characters in a
totally hear
way.
you.
Okay.
Cartoons these days are too round. They're too soft. They're for kids. So they
Yes,
don't hurt
dude.
themselves.
Yes, preach.
Pointy, jagged characters that would be like a child hazard are like that's like also like cartoons are too like I don't know. I have all these different words for characters that I only use with like me and my friends.
Uh-huh.
But like long type characters, I call long phenotypes. Like
Oh,
characters with really long palms, like a monkey. Like I don't like the square palms. I like long palms. I like characters with long features that are pointy. Like that's funny to me.
yeah.
And but like, I get that like it doesn't you don't see a lot of it because a lot harder to animate. Like Square Squad, little Ren and Stimpy characters are way easier to make them do like complex things.
Oh, sure.
But like that's this is my cross to bear. This is my little personal vendetta against round characters.
Sure. And like also like your color is like not as flat as a lot of modern animation is either. You seem to care about lighting, which is which is like something that a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people spend time on. Um, is that is it a matter of like you like have your shot kind of framed out and you draw it in and just like it just doesn't look right yet, and then you're just kind of fuddling with it until you think it looks right.
Yeah, and I think also like going back to Blender, like with Blender grease pencil, you have like you don't just pick your colors from a color wheel. Like you set materials, so it's like so once I switched to Blender, it was way easier to like because you have like your material for your skin and your eyes and your teeth and your clothes and your background elements. So you can just go and edit them in real time on the fly. So if it's like, oh, it needs to be greener, like I want the scene to be green for whatever reason, like
Mm-hmm.
you can just start with a blue scene and then have them all switch to green because you think green would look
Oh
better.
shit,
Which is
yeah.
yeah, which I guess you could do that with like Adobe with like
And
hue
I
editing or
feel
whatever, but
yeah,
like it's
for
just
sure.
a
Yeah.
lot easier. Just like you have all these materials that you can just change on the fly,
Oh, dude,
or
I'm
like
gonna
in the middle of a
start.
shot if you want to do a lighting change.
Right.
But yeah, but yeah, no, I don't know if I cared about lighting super. I think I cared about lighting in a bad way, like just in like a waste of my time way early on. But I think these days I do think lighting is important. I
Hmm.
love like animation where it's like there's one color per scene. Like I don't like I used to use black lines. I do sometimes use black lines still, but I always like it's like the line should be one color and it should be like the color of the scene. Like we're gonna use purple lines in the scene because it's purple, and so on and so forth. And like I kind of default to brown if there's no like major color
Gotcha.
theme.
Do you ever fuck around with like using uh or maybe you do and I just don't notice it because I'm not too completely educated on it. Do you ever like use light sources within Blender to manipulate your animations?
Oh yeah, like these days it's kind of like, and once again, it was kind of a major selling point for Blender was that you can just get really like cheap and quick mood lighting, where it's like you
Right.
don't have to animate the lighting yourself. You can just like put a point light that's white or whatever, or green, kind of
Hmm.
off to the side, just so the edges are slightly more like
Yeah, like
illuminated.
a like free highlighting kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's not
Okay,
perfect, but I just think yeah, it does help with like just getting the mood, setting the tone.
gotcha. This is going to be a really off the wall kind of question. So, like, what kind? Well, I guess not really. But have you ever seen like the 1980s Canterville Ghost animation where it's like where they do like it's like paper doll type shit? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Canterville Ghost,
Canterville.
paper doll.
You know, I'm just gonna find it.
No.
I'm gonna find it and send it to you. 'Cause that's something
Yeah,
that
no,
that I
please. That sounds cool.
that's something that I was kind of because I'm like I'm personally so late in the game. Like, so I did stand up for about 10 years, and
Oh yeah.
I've grown, I grew, whatever, because I still feel this way to kind of hate the world of it so much. I'll do a quick little tangent here, and I'll cut this out. This is just